Unscripted.
You know, regardless on where you stand on whether you prefer Xbox or PlayStation, or maybe you have no, horse in the race. Maybe you're just a gamer trying to play some games and it doesn't really matter to you and you think that fanboying is nonsense, etc., etc. With that being said, I just really do feel like it's one of those things that at the end of the day kind of does deserve some attention, and what we're going to talk about. Jim Ryan gave an interview instantly. If you don't know who Jim Ryan is, he's the head of PlayStation. Now, I want to also point out real quickly, I personally, this is just me, I'm not saying that everybody has to feel this way, I don't personally trust any executives at all. They're like politicians, okay? Without getting into any of that, just know that I trust no politicians. None. And I trust no business executives. They all are after the same thing. They want your money. I understand that completely. With that being said, it does take a good leader to lead your business through certain and uncertain times, and that's exactly what Jim Ryan's doing. Now, it takes no bigger drastic difference than to look at how Sony handled what's going on right now and the way that Microsoft handled what's going on right now. One console launched and managed to get far more supply out. One console launched with exclusive games and games in general, first party. One will have exclusive games and big third-party games and, big AAA exclusives next year, and one pretty much won't. One only has, and that, it's easy to tell, it's Microsoft, okay? In fact, Sony this year managed to get amazing games out on both, on the PlayStation 4, right? They still had Ghost of Tsushima, a brand new AAA IP, The Last of Us Part 2, the Game of the Year award winner. They did VR with Iron Man. They've managed to do so much in such an incredible, hard time and unprecedented time in our lives, and I applaud them. And I'm not really trying to use a pandemic as an excuse or anything like that. I feel like everybody, everything, every form of entertainment, every medium of entertainment really got a boost thanks to, what's going on. Let's just be real. We got kind of, where most of us were in lockdown and things like that, and still are. We still are. And yet, one of the shining things that we could look forward to in all of this mess, on all of this nonsense, is stuff like, hey, and even this year, man, for me, a person with anxiety and depression, and I deal with those feelings, and I know I'm not alone. You guys, I know a lot of you do as well. And screw the haters, because they're going to make fun of me for saying that I suffer with that, just like millions of other people, and that they probably do as well. But even with that being said, one of the things that really kind of helped me drag me through the thoughts at the end of the day was we're getting new consoles. And I know that's silly because it's just video games. Obviously, my family, wife, kids, all that kind of stuff help as well. But I'm just saying, like, on that entertainment level, video games and the thought of new consoles launches did very much keep me occupied and busy, and I didn't give me time to think about the negative things, right? And that's something that's really cool. Even with this YouTube for me, right? YouTube for me is a fun hobby. I love doing it. I love talking about video games. It keeps my mind occupied from wandering to the negative side. And there's a lot of things to really be negative to focus on. So trust me when I say I'm very appreciative that both Microsoft and Sony were able to launch. I just wish that Phil Spencer could have been the leader that got things going in a little bit better direction so that we actually had some stuff to play. And his role is sort of, I'm starting to notice more and more, seems to be more all about, play wherever you want, whenever you want, whatever, and doesn't really seem to care about the consoles themselves anymore anyway. So with that being said, I want to get started on this video. Sorry for the little rant early, but what's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. It helps out the channel, and that means a lot to me personally. If you're looking for a way to help a small little crummy channel like mine, the best way to do it, a simple like. You can also take a minute to consider subscribing. That would be fantastic. And even with that being said, I just want to point out that you guys are great, and I appreciate, what's basically been my, basically been my best year ever on YouTube in terms of success and stuff like that. So thank you guys so much. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, everybody in between. You are amazing, fantastic people. So Jim Ryan was doing an interview, and he was talking about how to handle things in a pandemic, right? Like how did they actually handle things so well in a pandemic, and how would this affect them going forward next year with their games and stuff like that. And again, I thought it was a very poignant sort of interview. I honestly do think that that he makes a lot of good points, and of course I'm going to link this in the description so you guys can all peruse it at your own particular leisure and tell me what you think as well. But basically, you have all these contingency plans and things like that in motion. And I really like the fact that they did that, okay? Because basically what that means is you sit there and go, okay, well, what if we can get this game launched? Great. But what if we can't get this game launched? Well, what if we can get this game launched? Then we'll have this game, how about the PlayStation itself? If we launch it here, if we do this, we'll be able to have this many. Like, you have all these contingency plans, and I really enjoy that, and I like that. And I'm not the biggest Jim Ryan fan, right? Like, I think by the time this generation's over with, I'm sure he would have screwed us over millions of times, whether it be putting stuff on PC or, doing something that kind of ruins the mystique of the PlayStation exclusives. Like, for me personally, I get that it's all a business and all money, but I just feel like if you have a piece of hardware and you're trying to sell me on it, don't tell me you don't need me to buy that piece of hardware, because that's not making me feel wanted as a person in your ecosystem. So, I mean, that's exactly what Microsoft does, and it pisses me off to no end. Like, the last thing I want to see is Phil Spencer going on and on about how he doesn't need console sales, okay? He should be trying to get console sales regardless, right? So, again, I just feel like I know that Jim Ryan will probably screw us over before the end of the generation, but with that being said, the leadership to be able to get this stuff done that they were able to accomplish, and to basically say that, pretty much confirming that a lot of the stuff, the games and stuff that are on tap for next year are still going to come next year, is a phenomenal thing to say and a phenomenal thing to promise, because at the end of the day, you look over there at what Microsoft has, and they literally have next to nothing. Their first party is 2 games scheduled for next year. Psychonauts 2, which is a Kickstarter project that is a multiplat. It's on PlayStation as well, and Halo Infinite, assuming that doesn't get delayed again. So that's it, folks. 1 multiplat and Halo, which again, that stuff is Halo's everywhere anyway. And if we've seen anything and learned anything from Cyberpunk 2077, it's the fact that these games are suffering on next gen due to last gen. So again, this is something that we all sort of see kind of coming along at the worst possible way, proving that like Phil Spencer and a lot of these developers saying that scalability was right and it wouldn't affect anything. We just see that was completely asinine, and that's completely wrong now, right? Just keeping it real. It just we keep seeing that's exactly what's going on, is the fact that last gen is holding back next gen, and there's not really much anything anybody can do about that, right? Like, I just got to be real with it. Like, this is just something that honestly is just such a bad thing. It's just really a terrible thing to see that's happening. But I do think that what we're going to see in the future is probably a good amount of games will still get delayed. I'm happy that on one part it looks like Microsoft, I don't know what their plan is. I mean, they don't seem to have a plan, but on the Sony side, at least they're pretty upfront about their plan and saying, hey, anything can happen, but as of now, everything, thanks to good leadership, is working out, and it's worth it. You know what I mean? So I really like that. I really like that fact, and I really like the fact that that Sony's pretty honest about that, at least. Do I expect? A lot of people don't expect God of War Ragnarok to launch next year. I actually do expect it to launch at the end of the year. Now, there's a chance that it might not, and I would be fine with that, as long as you get Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet & Clank, Gran Turismo, Returnal. As long as you get those games all out, Kena Bridge of Spirits, you know, maybe Final Fantasy as a year timed exclusive. I think as long as you get those games out, you'll be fine. But if they could manage to somehow get God of War Ragnarok out there as well in time to face off against Halo, I think that would be huge. And I actually think that we could be seeing God of War actually being the bigger name than Halo these days. So be very interesting to see how that works out. I, of course, am going to link this in the description, and you guys can all check that out and let me know what you think. I really do appreciate that. You guys are amazing. Just want to say that. Thank you. Please take a minute to consider subscribing. I do daily content, at least one video a day, sometimes two. And, you know, just I would appreciate a subscribe or a like or whatever you guys feel equals to my work. You know, probably not much. You know, it is crappy reviews after all. So thank you guys for checking out another one of my videos. Have a nice, safe, happy, healthy holiday. Stay safe, happy, and healthy. Take care of each other. Have a good time gaming. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.